In this 11-minute video, you will learn how to animate shape layers easily with a little trick. Hello and welcome to another tutorial. This time we aren't going to take that much time. I know I sometimes just take too long to do things, and I really talk slowly. So this time we are not going to do that. So let's just jump into what we are doing today. The idea today is that we are going to build something that looks like this. Let me show you again. We are going to play with some shape layers, and those things are gonna get us this result just by using a few keyframes, just no more than 6 keyframes, I guess. So well, first of all, let's start with the illustration. So for that, I've been working on hexels to achieve this look, this isometric look. So what I did was that, okay, I created this van, and it's all separated into different layers, so we can animate them more easily. For this example right here, we really don't need it. We really don't need this. You can just use one layer and it'll be fine. So well, for those of you who are familiar with something more like Illustrator, let's just export this into as an SVG, and yeah, resolution 20, and we hit OK, and we hit OK again, and now we are going to open that van SVG, and strangely the van appears just to the side, so we are moving it into the artboard. And well, here we have problem with this because, you know, like, it's a simple shape, a simple path, but it's full of these little anchors, so we don't want that. We want to simplify how this looks, so we are going to select all. We're going to object, path, simplify, and we are going to click here the straight lines options, and we're gonna hit preview, and we are just going from 4,000 points to something more manageable. So you'll see that there's some point where they just don't move, they just don't read this anymore. So just like, yeah, right here, it's going to be fine. So we hit OK, and now it's more clean. Okay, well, not perfect, but a lot better. So now we are going to save this as an Illustrator file. So we're gonna hit save, OK, and then we are going to move into After Effects. We're going to drag that file we just created. We're gonna drag it here. Okay, let's create a new composition. 1920 by 1080. Yep, that seems nice. We drag it here. We scale it down somewhere like this, and we're going to right click on this Illustrator layer, and we are going to create shapes from that vector layer. So what this does is that, well, it's going to translate all the vectors from Illustrator into native vector files, like, you know, shape layers into After Effects. So we can remove that Illustrator file that we just imported, and now we have it here. And so we have this shape layer full of groups and paths and fill and all that. So well, the trick is very simple. All we have to do is we are going to click here in the add option here, and we are going to click on trim path. So what trim paths does is that it just cuts off this. So yeah, it's just like every single shape that we have here, every single path, it's being just animated like that. So yeah, we're trimming it from 0 to 100. Okay, that's the first part. And then we also need to add the wiggle transform. And what this does is that it actually help us just to animate a quick randomness, wiggly transformation here. We are going to change the position, so we can just move these things around. And look at this, it is already looking good, although I haven't done just anything, just moving these this value. So well, you can offset this in any axis. We can just displace it really far away. So that's what we are going to do. And now if you just play this, you'll see that these things are just floating around and just leaving there, doing its thing. So what we can do is actually we can animate a position from a random location to 0. So that way we are going from some mess to something more clear. And we can use the frame path option also. So we are going to animate the end property from 0 to 100. And what we have is that we have this just blocky animation. We can add some easing right there, and there you go. You have this quick animation using just 4 keyframes. And if you look closely, you'll notice that what I did here, well, we had some little gaps in between those, because well, they are just different pieces, and so we have just the hole in there. So what we can do to try to improve that, to just make it better, make it look better, is that we can add a different thing called offset path. And that thing, let me show you something cool also. We are going to take the meter limit, which is this thing here. It controls the vertices, how big they look, I guess, and the amount. We are going to take it down, and if you look closely, you'll see that you can create a great, really simple animations using this if you like. So you can do whatever crazy things you want to. So for this case, just to fix those gaps here, all I have to do is add an amount of 0.5 or something like that, and it look like this. So I guess it's just fine. Well, but another cool thing is that I haven't showed you how this looks when animated, and you're gonna take a look at this. And well, although it looks kind of cool and all, I wasn't really planning doing this, and I realized that the order that you apply these effects in here affects how it looks. So the offset path is last, but if I move it to the second or the first, you'll see that it just does what I wanted to do. So well, you can just try different things. Maybe you wanted to have this look on your project, and you can just, let's get rid of the trim path. Maybe no, let's remove that keyframe, and we're going to have something like this. And let's say that we aren't going to animate the wiggle transform, We aren't going to animate it just too much. Let's just change this to 0 maybe. So yeah, it looks something like this. Just doing some random stuff here. So well, you can play around with these values here. You can also control the number of wiggles that you want per second. You can change it back to 1 or something. So basically just test different properties, different options here and there until you get the result that you want. So well, that's basically it, I think. For next video, I promise we will be using all of these layers that we created here, that I created here for this project. We can try to integrate this element here a little bit differently. Like we can animate it using the expression from the last episode. So maybe we can just we want to offset this part of the van in the isometric axis. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks again for being here and watching the videos. I hope you really enjoy and learn something new. Remember to like, subscribe, and all that stuff if you haven't already. So I'll see you guys next Thursday.